Good morning, Service Alliance community.
Well, howdy.
How are you, Jason?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Mm.
All right, let's say hi to some people. We got Doug.
Wow.
Good morning.
They want to hear our dad jokes. They're flocking to us because of our dad
They
jokes.
must be. They're just glutton for punishment every day. Morning, EJ.
Yeah.
Let's see.
At the beginning of the day, it's all about the dad jokes.
At the beginning of the day, it is about the dad
Yeah,
jokes.
definitely at the beginning of the day.
Good morning,
Welcome to Dad
Jeremy.
Joke Tuesday. I love it.
Dad Joke Tuesday. At the beginning of the day, you got to start yourself off right with Mike and Jason. Mike and Jason dad joke show.
Yeah, the Mike and Jason.
Good morning, Adam. All right. I'm sure there's a few other people out there. We got some numbers coming in. People dropping off. They heard dad jokes and they started leaving, Jason. They could have at least waited to see how bad they were before they jump out of here.
I'll tell you this: if you want a bad dad joke, just go ask ChatGPT. That is some of the worst dad jokes. I typed in, "Hey, I need some dad jokes related to the service repair companies," and a couple of them I got just to let you know how bad they are. Okay, so I'm an electrician for 25 years. The first one that pops up: why did the electrician go to therapy? Because he had too many issues to work out. I'm like, that's not a joke. That's truth. That's life right there.
ChatGPT is not the answer to everything. I
mean, this one was okay. So what did the appliance repair technician say to the dishwasher?
What?
Don't worry, I can fix your dirty habits.
That's marginal. At least that kind of went in the right direction. Hey, since we're talking about, our overall theme of education.
Yeah.
Where do trees go to learn?
Ooh, where do trees go to learn?
Elementary school.
Oh, yeah. Whew.
What's an astronaut's favorite part of a computer?
What is an astronaut's favorite part of a computer?
Space bar.
Oh, hey, yeah, space bar. I work in customer service because I'm really good at apologizing for things that aren't my fault. Again, another just truth. Not a
you
joke.
Gotta find new source, man. Why are elevator jokes so classic and good?
Oh, that's a very up and down thing.
They work on so many levels. But I like what you did there.
Yeah. I tell you, here's a good one. So I've been having to spend a lot of time up in St. Louis with my family. I got a family member who's not doing well. And so we've been going to treatments up in St. Louis quite a bit. But the elevator has 13 floors on it. No, 14 has 14 floors on it. And so I was on there last time I was on there. There was a bunch of people that kept getting on the elevator, and there's two sides where you can push buttons. And this lady asked, anybody else need any buttons pushed? Yeah, can you hit the 15th floor for me? And she's like, there is no 15th floor. And like everybody busted up laughing.
Was there a 13th floor?
There is a 13th floor, actually. Yeah, that's actually where my family member's getting treatment at, is the 13th floor. So it's kind of weird.
I know. I've been in many hotels that didn't have that 13th floor button.
Yeah. But hey, the way I see it, it's lucky number 13 because she's doing much better. So
yeah. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a deep subject.
Yeah, it is. There's another dad joke. You just rolled right into it. All right. Let's put these people out of their misery and open up with some prayer and get us started. You want to do that?
You bet. Father God, at the beginning of the day, thank you for the opportunity to serve the homes within our communities through our businesses. Lord, we acknowledge that education is a cornerstone of growth and understanding, and we We just seek your guidance and your blessing. Lord, I pray that I just pray for the families that entrust us with the homes that we serve, that they just experience an atmosphere of excellence and love and support with every touch from us as we're working there, uh, and from our companies, from the marketing pieces to the call takers to the techs in their homes. Or just grant us the wisdom to provide services that don't just fix stuff, but also nurture the minds and the hearts of those we serve. Um, God bless, as we talked about education and coaches, bless the mentors that's involved in our lives, and that they'll just be vessels of your wisdom and grace. And may they be inspired to instill not only knowledge, but also values that align with your teaching. And grant us understanding and perseverance and hunger for knowledge, and surround us with an environment that fosters curiosity and creativity. God, we ask for your protection over the homes we serve. And may they be places of just peace and encouragement, accompanied by your presence and guidance. And as we undertake the responsibilities of being business owners and workers, we place it all in your hands, knowing that through education, we can empower individuals and families to grow and thrive, and make their homes a safer and more comfortable place. May your blessings flow abundantly in every home touched by our services. Amen.
Amen, brother. That was a good prayer.
Thanks.
Wow. All right. Today's verse.
Wait, was it good? It was too long, or it was good?
No, it was good. It was better than I could have done. Put it that way.
You know, it's the Spirit, brother.
Which isn't saying much, by the way.
At the beginning of the day, it's the Spirit.
I know.
As Joel Osteen would say, it's Jesus living in you, working through you.
Yeah, we won't talk about him. But 2 Timothy 2:15 is our verse for the day.
All right.
Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, and who correctly handles the word of truth. That's
pretty at the beginning of the day, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna start your day, start the beginning of your day with the word of God. Yeah. And the rest of your day will just go great. By the time you reach the end of your day, you'll be all good. So
at the end of this,
a lot of people get what's going on here. You know, you can read between the lines. There's going to be a few people watch this later that are like, "What the hell are they talking about?" Beginning of the day crap. But
yeah, all right.
The rest of you know. When you know, you know.
I mean, if you want to share real quick, because
no,
at the end of the day, somebody's going to figure it out.
At the end, someone will figure it out by the end of the day. But we're going to start the beginning of the day off.
Oh man, yeah, okay. So
we had a great conference, and we ended it with a funny little video that I spent way too much time on, keeping Zach awake until early in the morning, trying to get it finished, because I was just up there on my computer and just laughing, pulling all these little things out, little clips of everybody saying at the end of the day.
That's
made a video to end our conference, and it was pretty funny. Everybody got a kick out of it. So,
how was the conference? I didn't.
The conference was good. We actually had a full house. We had a couple people not show up, but a couple walk-ins took their place, and it was a full house. So, with the exception of Brother B, he had a delayed flight, and he didn't show up. He didn't get there until halfway through the very final session.
Oh man,
and I felt so bad. I'm like, man, you missed the whole day because of the stupid flight.
Did you record it?
Delayed. Yeah, we recorded stuff.
Okay, that's good, because then you can put that in the private membership area.
Yeah,
for members.
It's going to take a lot of editing. Zach's got a lot of editing because it's a whole day of footage. So
yeah,
but he's got a lot to unpack there.
So we're talking education today. Where do you want to go with this? Like, what's the direction here?
Well, something that came out of the conference. It really, we talk about stuff like this all the time about business growth and learning and all this stuff, and what's out there for resources. But something that hit me really hard talking to a lot of these guys this weekend and having one-on-ones with all different varieties of people, that are at all different levels of their business.
Mm-hmm.
They struggle so much with just having solid resources available and like to go for the business end. Like there's so much technical stuff out there, right? For the technicians.
Yeah.
It's like the industries have made that their primary focus because the manufacturers have helped make it that way.
Yeah.
But there's no one really helping these guys, and ladies too, actually run a business the right way and how to grow it and just how to do simple things, simple goals. I was sitting with one of the ladies and she was showing me her notes from the day, and the first thing was her goals. And her goals, she just had two goals, and those goals were to just throw people in the company.
Yeah.
And I'm like, adding more trucks and adding more office staff is not a goal. You need to look at that as a result in action that you need to take as a result of achieving different levels of your goal. And she kind of just sat back and she's like, I never really looked at it that way. I'm like, throwing another person doesn't automatically make you money.
Yeah.
And it's just simple things like that, just to get everybody on the right thought pattern, and I think that's probably missing the most, is having resources just to like set your mind right.
Yeah.
So it was validation that we're doing some things right at Service Alliance Group and trying in what we're trying to offer people. It seems like the missing piece.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. So I thought it was pretty good.
I like, I've changed a lot of my wording to where I don't say goals anymore. I say growth plan, or some people say success plan, right? Like, what's your growth plan for the next 10 years? Yeah, not really what your goals. As you said, goals are pretty easy. I can have a goal to lose, a single pound. Like I called up the weight loss line the other day and like, hey, I just want to lose 1 pound. They're like, press 18,000 times, right? So you can have a goal, but I like to have a success plan. And we've had business coaches and mentors. I know I've said this before, so I feel like a robot in this aspect, but we've had business coaches since 2004. But it wasn't until I started having a mentor, right? Someone who's been in my shoes and walked in my shoes, that I really start seeing changes towards growth. In me personally, I also feel like you need to have a personal mentor, a spiritual mentor, and a business mentor, right? Someone that can walk in those steps. Sorry,
yeah, I mean, it's great to have multiple mentors to touch points in your life, to multiple touch points in your life, because there's no one person solution for everything. So I mean, when you at the beginning of the day, all that matters is you've got to know that everybody needs multiple resources in order to survive in this world. There's just so much going on in our lives, in our businesses, and things change constantly and they evolve. and new people come in and shift in and out of our lives and our businesses, that sometimes it's hard to just keep up with.
I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear the dog? Did you hear the
I,
dog?
I heard it in the beginning, but then you muted and I couldn't hear anything. So
Sorry.
I
That's
thought
hilarious.
I thought maybe Shayna was barking at you.
No, that's the only downside about being back in the big house, the office here. Is, the shared space. I don't have that studio that's just a private space. So my apologies there. To,
Oh, that's
yeah,
all
so
right. Things
education.
happen.
So what about education for your techs? I'm a big proponent of, you know, a technical training, as you were talking about, continue on with what's the latest, greatest, and how do I make my services even better as far as educating customers, but also with business coaches. There's so many business coaches out there, and that's the problem. There's so many business coaches. Finding one that really understands business well to help you get to that next level, I think is
Or
pretty
your
important.
business well.
Yeah, your business well. Yeah. Just like we hired you because of your expertise in building websites and ongoing SEO, right? Versus just hiring somebody off Fiverr who can build a website, but they don't understand my business, right? You know me, you know my business, you know the appliance world. That's what you do, right? We know phones, we know how to answer, we know how to talk to people. So getting people in those, like you said, that knows your business to help you get to that next level is important.
Right. I mean, there were so many side conversations this weekend. I met I had the rare opportunity to have lunch with one of my clients. One of my web design SEO clients, and we just sat one on one, eating our lunch and just talking and hanging out, and you know,
Yeah,
talking about everything, talking about family, talking about all kinds of stuff. And I kind of just wanted to get to know him. Okay, like more on a personal level, not on the business level or the connection level that we've got through the Service Alliance Group. I wanted to know who he was, like,
yeah,
at the core, like what are his values? What does he want out of life?
yeah,
Because if I don't know those things, what can I do to help them achieve them? You know,
yeah,
you
100%.
have to know those things.
I think as
And
a
go ahead.
service contractor going into somebody's house, you have to spend time with them, asking questions, getting to know them, and sometimes you're spending more time fixing them than you are actually fixing the problem. I Since 2000, well, in '04 when we started hiring a business coach, but I have questions, right? And so for the longest time, I would put those questions on a sheet, and I had a translucent clipboard because I didn't want people to think, oh, I'm working off a script here. Well, it's not that I was working off a script. I had specific questions, like you go to a doctor. The doctor asks
Right.
specific questions. They take notes. So once I kind of got that in my head, I was like, I'm no different than a doctor, right? I'm fixing a problem, but also I'm fixing the person. So I would spend on average probably an easy 10 to 15 minutes talking with the customer first about, hey, tell me what's going on, and you get it from their perspective about what's going on, because what they can call in and tell your CSRs is one thing, and that can get put on your notes. But once you ask them in person, hey, what's going on, then from there you can start asking questions. Well, what would make this better for you, or what's your
Right.
biggest concern with this repair today, right? And so that's where you can start getting ahead of the issues. Well, I'm afraid it's going to be really expensive, and then you can head that off with objection handling. So
Well,
I
a
have
lot of
some really,
customers, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, right?
yeah,
And it's not their job to know what they're talking about, so they don't know
yeah,
the proper ways to explain to a CSR
yeah.
what the problem is.
Their biggest concerns,
It's like the old lady that brings her car into the mechanic shop, says, "Oh, it's going thunk thunk thunk.
yeah,
Fix it."
their
They
their
don't know
biggest
where it's
concerns
coming
are,
from. You
Yeah, their
know,
biggest
my
concerns are
mother-in-law is a perfect example of this. She's got, bless her heart, she's telling us, over Thanksgiving, she's like, well, I don't know why my radio's not working. It's just not working. My wife was in the car with her a few weeks ago, and like before that, and my wife turned off her radio, and my mother-in-law didn't realize that it was off and didn't know how to turn it back on. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It was a radio.
yeah.
But like, they just don't think, and it's like something so stupid. And she was gonna take this thing into a mechanic shop to be fixed. And it's just because, I mean, especially older people, they have no clue about the simple things, and they
Yeah.
don't know how to explain things. So it's like you have to ask a lot of questions, and you have to sometimes, you know, the radio doesn't need to be replaced. A mechanic would probably immediately go there. Oh, if it's not a fuse, it's the radio, and no, go back to basics. It just needs to be turned on.
Yeah.
you know, um,
A
and
customer,
I'm using that as an extreme simple example, right?
yeah.
But we've got to sometimes go back to the basics and get our mind right and say, you know what, let's start with the simple things and start
Yeah,
asking questions, like you said, on the simple things.
a customer wants to know, are you the right person? Are you the right company? Is this the right time? Can I afford it? Right? I mean, it's very basic and simple what they really care
Right.
about. Um, they care about, all right, can you fix my problem? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So
They care
it's
about fixing that problem getting fixed
yeah,
more than they care about the cost.
yeah,
I can
it's
guarantee you
educating.
every single time, because it's such an annoyance in their life, and they're willing to get rid of that annoyance,
Yeah.
that disruption. But Miss Ward
So what
showed
is
up finally.
what
Good
does
morning, Miss
Service
Ward.
Alliance Group have to offer as far as education is concerned?
Oh, we got a lot, and we got a lot more coming. We got some
Yeah.
plans. So based, I'll tell you what, based on the feedback, we had one major complaint about this conference. In all the feedback forms that we gave everybody, there was one common complaint that stood out, just one.
Enough
And
time.
it should have been 2 days.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
people left there still wanting more. And I don't care how many days you do it. There's
It's never going to be
no way
enough.
that you can,
Yeah.
it's never enough. You can't people can't fix their business in one day. Going to a conference for one day, or going to a conference for 5 days or 2 weeks. It's just impossible, right? So you need mentorship, you need coaches, you need people to walk alongside you. Um, and that's how you do it, over a period of time. And
Yeah.
it's small steps, it's gradual. Like, you built your web, or you built your business, and it took you this long. I talked to a guy who's been in business literally 23 years, I believe it was. And I'm like, wait, you've been in business? You just sat here doing this brain dump of all your struggles. And to me, I was like, oh, this guy's pretty new. If he's experiencing this, he's got to be pretty new to business ownership, because it was fairly basic stuff. And he had been in business 23 years. And I was like, oh, wow. And he wasn't making very much money in the grand scheme of things. You think 23 years, he would have scaled, but the gentleman he was a great guy, great guy. Like, he had a heart, for his family, that was unbelievable. And he had some unique situations that
Yeah.
most other people don't have. And I'm like, oh yeah, like that's a tough one. It's, and you're sitting there thinking you got all these things going in your mind, and it's like, man, I just want to help this guy. I got all this advice I could give him, and a lot of people were throwing stuff at him like that, and then I went inside to eat, and he came out and he sat with me, and I couldn't really get a word in edgewise with everybody else giving him so much advice. So I kind of just stood back and I just listened to his story and listened to his struggles and stuff. And then, so I go in to eat, and he came and he sat with me just one on one at the table. And I just started asking him questions, and I'm like, man, I don't have an answer for you. If you're looking for like a solid answer from me, I really don't have one, because you're in such a unique situation. And I'm like, if you really want my advice, maybe you should try this, and this. I said, it could be some solutions that I hadn't heard anyone out there talking to you about, but this is maybe where you should start. And I'm like, the decision's going to be yours, ultimately. Only you know your situation as well as anybody. So sometimes we get in situations where we have to figure it out. We're forced to figure it out on our own, but we need just advice. We don't need someone to fix it for us, and sometimes nobody can fix anything for you because it's out of your control. And that's some of this gentleman's issues are completely out of his control, and there's nothing he's ever going to be able to do about it. And it's not a thing that's just going to go away. Maybe after years of time it could go away, but right now he's in a position where he's like stuck for a while, where his situation isn't going to change, and it's not his fault. There's no control over it. He's got no choice but to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's affecting his business, and he's trying to figure out a workaround to where he can make the business work around it as well, and that was the hard part, because I've never had anybody in that situation come to me for advice.
Yeah.
But it was still really good. Like that's what it's all about, right? You sit down, you learn the struggles on a deeper and more intimate level, then you can understand it, and then you can try and help someone.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, there's a good book called The Coaching Habit. Trying to remember who's that by. Michael Bungay Stanier. Anyway, The Coaching Habit. Anyway, it's got a lot of questions of, what's on your mind, and, how can I help, and just simple things that sometimes people just need somebody to listen to, right? They just want somebody to listen to them. And then if the opportunity arises, we can help them out. So sometimes that's just being a good mentor, is just listening, right?
Yeah, just being there. Sometimes they just need someone to understand where they're at.
Yeah. I think we as husbands, we fail at that sometimes, just listening.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Did I say that? That's recorded.
No.
You got that as a soundbite.
Don't look at her for affirmation on what you just said.
She just looked at me and like,
I bet she just loves having your desk right next to hers every day.
Oh, we're a good 14 feet away, 12 feet away. Yeah, well, I think we're going to write a book called "When You're in Business with Your Partner," when you're in business with your spouse, and subtitled 12 feet away or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, how many feet away do you need to have your desk?
Oh, easily within, you got to be
out of
more
arm's
than
reach.
slapping distance. Yeah, more than slapping distance.
Definitely.
The good thing is I got my headphones in and she can't hear a word we're saying and she's not tuned in. You know, like EJ said the other day, she doesn't tune in unless she wants to. So,
now
yeah.
she's going to listen to this later, and she's going to be within arm's reach to smack you, buddy. So
to hug me. She's gonna be within her arm's reach to hug me.
I don't think that's going to work out for you today. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
so
Well, I know
what were you going to say?
time is getting away from us. So
Yes.
you know, at the
But
end of the day, of all the inventions,
do you have more time at the end of the day or the beginning of the day?
it's all the same time.
Exactly.
That was like a really weird riddle. You know, at the end of the day, out of all the inventions of the last century, the dry erase board is their most remarkable.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So with
I didn't
that, I
laugh
know
at
you got to
that
get
either.
going.
Yeah. We'll end it on that note. Everybody have a great day.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. And make sure
At the
you
end of the
tune in.
day, don't forget about us.
Yeah. We'll see you at the beginning of the day on Thursday morning with TK and then EJ on Friday. All right. Everybody have a great day.
Make it a great day.